I was working at this big international school, ISB, and I had a dream that after I retired, I was there for close to 27 years, more than 27 years. And I started the jewelry program at that school and a course called Industrial Design. And they were terrifically popular electives. It kept me at that school 8 years past the retirement age of 65, which was really an exception in those days. I don't think that's even possible for a teacher at ISB nowadays. But I had the exception because my classes were loaded and I was one of the popular art elective. I'm an art teacher, but I've been teaching jewelry for about 25 years, long time. So I had a dream with my wife that we would go up to Chiang Mai and I would open up a cafe, a beautiful cafe, and a jewelry school combined. They would have a beautiful studio behind the cafe. Well, my wife, Sarilak, she didn't want to do it. And we decided to look for a place around here to do it. And there was this piece of land behind the school, ISB, which was very hard to find who owned it. In fact, the school for a while wanted to buy it and they couldn't find the owner. And I did. I located the owner. We had some savings and I got my retirement money, and we spent a mess of money trying to buy this piece of land. It's about a half a rai. It's a Thai measurement of land. And it's quite a big piece of property, and it's very beautiful and very secluded. There are not houses or buildings up against it. So we built this beautiful, beautiful cafe, and we planned it for 2.5 years. 2.5 years of drawings that I made showing the placement of absolutely everything. We decided on the shape of the walls around it. And I had this friend who was an architect, and he exports these beautiful salas. And he built this giant sala for me, which is 12 meters long and 6 meters wide. And we even broke into the back of it and put a beautiful little kitchen. Even these outside tables came from an architectural magazine, from actually a show in Thailand. They come from Taiwan, they're made in Taiwan. And these are outside fans that keep the mosquitoes away and keep you cool while you're seated out here on the beautiful deck. We landscaped this place several times, 2 or 3 times. And I'm going to take you to the jewelry shop in the back. In the back, we built this other building, which you can see. There is a stairway leading up to my workshop on this side. And we have fountains, and we put this beautiful, beautiful waterfall, this fountain in here that I also found at an architectural show. And it's become a bird sanctuary. So we have beautiful trees full of birds. And I mean, you couldn't get as close to heaven as we did here. It is just fantastic. So this is the entrance, and this foyer we turned into a little gallery. And it has photographs of students that I've taught at ISB when I was there for my 2 electives. I also taught woodworking at ISB. And there are many news articles from some other accomplishments. This is a machine I invented when I was 18 years old that syncs music up with color projection. And it was used at the Hunter College Theater and at City Center in New York. I provided the background for a ballet, and that's what this article's capped about. So my machine made its debut there with the choreographer for the Metropolitan Opera House, Ron Sikorian. And this was in 1962. I worked for the Muppets for a year and a half, fabricating puppets. And I worked for a movie called The Dark Crystal. But just take a look at this little foyer and all the beautiful things that are in here. There's a showcase of my work, and I'm really so proud of the way this stuff looks. I love to make one-of-a-kind pieces that are actually little works of art. And that's why I got into jewelry, because I was a sculptor before, and I was working in iron and steel. And now I can make sculpture on a tiny level. So it's very, very, very exciting to me to be doing this kind of work. There's a little bit of a digital gallery back here and a lot of photographs of my students' work. And I have a little digital gallery here with digital frames that show things that were built in my workshop. There's a beautiful little bathroom on the side here for students. And it's really, really nice. It's all full of pictures. It's also like a gallery. And I don't know if you can see this one with the reflections in it, but that's me at 18 years old, and this is a color machine that I invented. And I actually started working for Bernard Bloch. That's Bernard Bloch is the brother of Ray Bloch, who was Jackie Gleason's orchestra leader. And I built him a machine. I built many, many machines. And I worked for a company called Mobile Color, which I don't think it's around anymore, but we designed Broadway signs for New York. And they were all done with light pipe with thousands of plexiglass rods. So I worked for this company for a while, and I got a patent under their name. Let me take you into my workshop now. These are the two doors that lead into my workshop. They're carved, and my workshop is really, really intense. It's very special. It's a beautiful, intimate space. I'll explain. This is the back of the workbenches, and every place I have, and every opportunity I have, I need to show off the work of my students and some of my own work and drawings. So, and then down here, this is a vacuum collection system, a cyclone system that I built. And these are oxygen and LPG tanks that supply the bench. There's a sink to the right over here, and a small library of design books for students to look at. And you can see how intense this space is. There's so much in here, and actually I'm so proud of it. In this small shop, I've got a huge rolling machine with a 4-horsepower motor. And this machine helps me make sheet metal, sheet silver or gold, and gold rod and gold wire. So this machine is for extruding after we melt the metal and make an ingot. And it's very normal in a gold shop. This is an inside engraving machine over here. And then this is my desk area where I work. I design here, and I make flyers and advertise the possibility of learning this craft. And just behind me, as I turn the camera around, these are the workstations for the students. There's 2 workstations. One here, you can see the amount of light. Many microscopes around the room. This is also a microscope. This is a camera microscope that goes to that large screen on the other side. And this is another student station. And then there's one more student station over on this side of the room. And students sit at this workbench as well. There is cleaning and buffing. This is the cleaning area, and this is the buffing machine. It's a 2-head machine with extraction to take the dust and effluent away. So it's very cool. And then there's a huge balcony out over this side and another balcony at this side, and I'll show you that from the outside so you can get an idea what that looks like. So this is a very, very condensed workshop with just fantastic tools. Over behind me is a gravesmith for teaching engraving, and underneath that, that's a pulse welder which uses argon gas. And this welder welds under a microscope for welding titanium, fixing small chains, and tack welding things in place. So it's a fantastic item. It's a little cheaper than buying a laser, but a laser is about 500,000 baht. You know, a good one is. You can see the microscope here is for engraving. So this is a fantastic workshop, and you can get lost in here. And I spend thousands of hours in here. And then out the back, there's this beautiful balcony where we do all our melting. This is sort of a melting area out here, and I'll show you that from the other side. So this is it. This is the workshop. It's intense, and believe me, I have absolutely everything there is in the way of jewelry tools. I have really high-tech tools. We have more than 1 million baht worth of tools in this shop. There's a lot of facility here. It's very well done, and it's just enough. For teaching jewelry, you don't need big workbenches or anything like that. You need very intimate little areas that you do your work. So I'm so happy to take you in here and give you a tour of the place. As you can see, I'm a fan of drones. I have 15 of them and fly them all over to take aerial shots of this property and everything. It's wonderful. I'm going to walk you out the back now, and we're going to go back outside. And I want to show you those balconies from the outside. If you look up here, you can see the balcony, and then you can see the other balcony on this face of the building. And up here is where we have oxygen and LPG, and I can melt metal up here. It's fantastic. And this is a great place to sit with your drawing pad and design. And it is so super quiet and beautiful here. Just such a lovely area. And I'm just fortunate. I mean, this is as close to as a resort as you could come. And I don't think anybody has a place as beautiful as this. And I love the buildings, and I love the design of the place. I forgot to show you that there is also an elevator upstairs that takes my tanks up. It's a 3-ton lift, which is quite a big lift. So that's it. That's our jewelry workshop. I hope you'll come here to study, and you will learn a lot, and it's a great peaceful setting, and it's lovely. It's a sanctuary for birds. It's got a great cafe with Italian coffee and the finest food that you could find. And it's just a great place to chill out in the late afternoon. And I suggest that you come around 3 o'clock. We generally close around 3, but if you call us, we'll stay open for you, and bring your friends. And what a great place to rendezvous.